welcome to For the Love of Nature, a podcast where we tell you everything you need to know about nature and probably more than you wanted to know. I'm Laura.
And I'm Katy, and today we are continuing our ridiculousness of ridiculousnesses episodes, talking about animals we could do without. So, of the could you do without this animal? So I think we
Absolutely. The answer is yes.
Yeah, yes, we could, the ones we picked. So we've had, in this series, Could You Ride That, which was the first, which I still think is one of my favorite episodes, just because, could you ride that? It's still...
The title alone.
It's still a common question. And so this is another one, could you do without that animal? So we're just going to kind of ping back and forth. All right, so what was your nature news, Laura?
So it's not really news. It's more of like a question.
News to us.
Well, yeah, you're right. News to us. So it's it was a Facebook as where I get all my information, news, and great things. And the question was basically, with what force did the Brachiosaurus vomit? Never have I ever even thought about dinosaurs puking.
No, or very many animals throwing up for that matter, which is crazy because you and I have been around enough animals, enough animal vomit to know that animals definitely throw up, but...
At least some of them. I've definitely seen like a gorilla.
Oh, yeah. Regurgitation.
Yeah. So, the answer is it can vomit with 68,000 newtons per hurl. Okay? So...
Add that to our measurement book.
You're right.
As far as a rat can swim, as far as a brachiosaurus can hurl.
As powerful as a brachiosaurus
can hurl.
Because it's assuming that a brachiosaurus. I don't know how they got these numbers. I'm not going to question.
Yeah, because we don't even really know how these dinosaurs look. It's it's an educated guess. Meanwhile, we're this is how fast they hurl.
Well, right, and they got that information by assuming that it hurls with about 110 pounds of vomit, which is
my gosh.
But I guess it's a big animal, and then if that drops from 45 feet above, because that's how tall their neck would, then you get that many newtons, and so. Could it kill you? Yes, it could.
Yeah, it would have to kill you,
which is insane. I just love the math. There's even a great little infographic.
This goes back to the chicken slapping.
Oh, I know. It's totally like the chicken slapping.
How fast can you slap a chicken?
The whole thing got brought up because they found the remains of a. The matter was investigated to determine exactly how the remains of a small dinosaur ended up in a Brachiosaurus puke crater. How do they know it's a puke crater? I don't know. But I think
okay.
I don't
puke
know.
Crater? Okay, hold on. For the situation to even form a fossil in general, and if you haven't listened to our fossil episode, go back, it's somewhere. I don't know, we're in season 5 now, we can't give you specifics of when these episodes were anymore, but you have to have very specific conditions for a fossil to form anyway. Then you add on a fossilizing puke, man, talk about right place at the right time,
wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, to find the fossil. I was thinking of the poor little dinosaur.
For the fossil to actually happen.
I love that people have different names for puke. Okay, this article is referring to puke as yak, dinosaur yak. I mean, it's kind of how do they know? So Italian scientists are tackling this cold case. Yes, in 1989, a unique fossil concluded that it was dinosaur vomit, roughly 220 million years old. The fossil lacked the mineralization that would have put it in the dinosaur poop category. They also identified bones captured for eternity inside the puke as a tiny winged pterosaur, which are, pterodactyls.
Well, no wonder it vomited, because they're a plant eater.
Yeah. So
it's meat.
Well, it says vomit like this usually is from a predator regurgitating like an owl pellet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they are, birds, related to birds. I mean,
this one, they, pterosaurs could be anywhere from a sparrow to a fighter jet in size. This one was tiny. But no doubt it was a winged pterosaur in the vom, which also, again, love that they called it the vom. Used an X-ray, compare it to other things. It was all scientific. Yes. Looks like the Italian scientists still aren't sure what the heck is in that fossilized dino yak. Okay, that's all I got. But also, so was it a case of, like that pigeon in a baseball game that just got hit by the ball?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Have you ever seen it? So is it wrong place, wrong time? Like this poor little pterosaur is just flying along, minding its own business, and blah!
Yeah.
Or
did it eat it?
Accidentally eat it.
And then just vomit.
What has happened to me before is I'm talking and I inhaled a fly because my mouth was open so much and I was breathing. This guy was just talking to a friend and the little pterosaur just right up his, windpipe and it made him barf.
I like to think he was talking to a friend and then he just threw up.
Yeah.
Because that has happened to me, like riding my bike. Maybe he was riding his bike
and
just...
It's enough to make you want to die. I was talking in front of a group of people. I was doing a tour and just was like, and I took a big deep breath because I had been talking a lot. I went, and then fly right down the windpipe. I'm like, I almost threw up.
Well, dinosaur vomit, folks.
Yeah. So instead, let's talk about how there are some animals we just don't like for one reason or another.
Because there are plenty, but we did try to narrow it down.
We love all animals, but we don't like them.
Yeah, we don't like them. And I picked 5. You picked 5 too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 5 each that we just don't like for one reason or another.
I want to hear your reasons. You want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. All right, ready?
Yeah.
First animal I could do without. Pigeons.
No!
I have ragged on these flying rats before, and... I
didn't convince you with my war pigeons?
Not really. I mean, cool, but they're still pigeons. Yeah. So I'm gonna, talk them a little bit more. But these dumbasses are found all around the world. You see them in cities, towns, dumpsters, side of the road.
Typically dumpsters.
Yeah. Just munching on stuff on the sides of the road, just basically waiting to be hit because they're just that dumb. They're 11 to 13 inches in length with a wingspan of 20 to 26 inches, often grayish in color. They can really... Well, gray, but they can be a variety of colors.
Yeah, I saw a white one the other day at the grocery store.
You figure, they just breed and breed and breed. They just get all kinds of weird colors.
They're all from, like, were
groups.
Domestic.
Yes, yeah.
And now they're not. So, yeah, it makes sense that they'd be, like, prettier colors.
Yeah. They have a small red to pink grayish black legs and feet. Round eyes surrounded by rings of skin, which is how you can easily identify them. The female rock pigeon lays 2 eggs in a nest lined with sticks, leaves, stems, roots, and debris, which I will give...
Nest is a super loose term.
It is a loose term, because it's kind of like a mourning dove, where I've, literally seen a mourning dove, have one stick and lay an egg beside it, and it's like, I have a nest, guys! Okay, good try. Pat on the little wing on the back.
Not a nest to make.
Not a nest, yeah, not at all. In the wild, though, the nests are built in a cliff, if they were ever really in the wild. Way back in the day they were, but not anytime soon. In cities and towns, the nest is placed on the window ledges, on roofs, traffic lights, under bridges, basically anywhere else they could lay a stick. It's a fun fact, because there's literally only one cool thing about these birds. The rock pigeon and other birds in the Columbridae family, have a unique way of drinking water, which I didn't know this. Most birds take a sip of water and then throw it back into their heads to swallow, but rock pigeons use its bill like a straw to suck up water. Yeah. So at least they have that going for them.
That's cool.
Yeah, little built-in straw. All right, so I don't even know how many times I've said I don't like pigeons.
Yeah.
Well, so I want to say that they are dumb. However, I mean, not just like the homing pigeon thing. So let me continue. Because that is the homing pigeon thing is cool, but they're not as dumb as they appear, even though I constantly say that they're dumb. It's kind of like my dog. Like, I love my 13-year-old dog, Toby, but we constantly say he just has that one brain cell that's working for him. Because that really is all he has going for him. He's so cute, but you can tell there's just not much going on upstairs whatsoever. But, and that's how I feel a lot of times about pigeons, is you just look at them and you're just like, just nothing's happening up there. However, new research has actually shown that there's more going on up in their noggin than we originally anticipated.
Are you going to refute your own animal that you don't like?
I still don't like it, and I still could do without them because of the number of like diseases and just grossness that they are, because they're constantly just, I don't know, rat birds. Like, they're flying rats for a reason.
Yeah.
But utilizing the same tiny brain that allows them to never forget where quote-unquote home is, research is also pointing to pigeons never forget a face.
Like a crow.
Yes. So, the study was done over 10 years ago now. So, and I've made fun of a lot of pigeons since 2011. So, I'm basically screwed. In 2011, research out of Glasgow proved that feral, untrained pigeons can recognize individual people and are not fooled by change of clothes or anything else.
Whoa. So
pigeons do this by using, they have shown by facial characteristics. Even people that are fairly similar looking doesn't fool pigeons. Yep. Now, it is important to note that it is feral pigeons we're talking about, because I guess pigeons already had this reputation within labs of never forgetting faces. So, I mean, like, imagine if you're in a lab and pigeons don't forget your face. Like, I don't know how you could experiment, right, every day. So by knowing that they don't forget a face in the lab, researchers moved to the streets of Paris's city center, where if you've ever seen pictures, there's so many pigeons in the city center. And in this experiment, pigeons were fed by two researchers of similar build and skin color, but they were each wearing different colored lab coats. One individual simply ignored the pigeons, allowing them to feed, while the other was hostile and chased them away. And yes, I use the word hostile. This was followed by a second session when neither chased away the pigeons. Alright, so the experiment, which was repeated several times, showed that pigeons were able to recognize the individuals and continued to avoid the researchers who had chased them away even long after they stopped doing so. So they chased them once, that pigeon still never went near them again.
Yeah. Burned me once. They don't forgive. Pigeons don't forgive.
And that's what I was going to say. It's not only that they don't forget, they don't forgive. Unforgiving pigeons. So
awesome band name, Unforgiving Pigeons.
Yes. So swapping lab coats during the experiments did not confuse the pigeons, and they continued to shun. And yes, that is the scientific word that they use, shun. So we have pigeon shunning. The research who was initially hostile. So, why could I just do without pigeons? Because I put them in the same categories, but also higher on my to do without list than seagulls. Because gulls, they're dumb. They steal my Thrasher's amazing French fries and stuff, but I can still, don't record this, but still kind of can deal with liking gulls. However, pigeons are just pigeons
for you.
Yeah, they're just dumb. There's just nothing going on. I don't know, I'll have to look how many different diseases and stuff they can carry, but I mean, they're constantly just around, just random crap. They can carry more than 60 varieties of diseases.
Yikes.
But it is rare that many of these are fatal to humans. However, I mean, if they don't forget, and I've been making fun of pigeons for the last 10 years.
They've got it out for you anyway.
They have to have it out for you. This is like my rainbow lorikeet incident. Like how rainbow lorikeets have literally within zoos and even in the freaking wild have chased me. And have I told that story here yet on this?
No, not on the podcast.
So, okay, real quick, because I'm telling you, pigeons are coming for me next. Rainbow lorikeets are somehow going to talk to pigeons, and it's where it's going to get out. So, we were in college. I was at Cleveland Metro Park Zoo, and there was a friend of ours who was working there. Laura and I don't know if you were in my class or not, but we were up there doing a research project, basically research grunts. And so I was up there, and on the weekend, I was like, yeah, I'll just go to the zoo, do some more research and stuff, just help the grad students out with whatever they need to. We were groundhogs for them, you know. So whenever we were there, I went to go visit my friend who actually worked there, and she was in the rainbow lorikeet, like, walkthrough. You know where you walk through and you hold up the cup, you feed them and everything. All right, fine and dandy. Go in there, and she's like, hey, they're all really good, but just FYI, because you're, like, dressed like a keeper and stuff, she's like, there's this one who's kind of scruffy looking, and he's kind of a jerk, so just if he, you know, gets near you, just ignore him. So sure enough, within seconds, here comes this jerk of a rainbow lorikeet, lands on my shoulder, and he starts biting my ear. I didn't have earrings in or anything, so I, like, try to, like, scoot him away off my shoulder. Nicely, but firmly. Try to bat him off my shoulder.
Goodbye.
Bye. Wham! Right on my hand. Bit the crap out of me. So I finally like wham! Like, really shoved him off my shoulder. He comes back. I'm like, damn you. So I had a radio on me. It's just what, bam! And, like, whipped it, like, off again. Like, nicely, because there's public around. But also, like, don't bite me. Next thing I know, 3, 4, 5, they all started swarming me. I had to leave. I had to...
Friend.
Yeah, they told everybody. So... fast forward, all right? I tried that one more time going in there, and same thing, I was swarmed. They just don't like me, all right? Fast forward. Probably about 5 months after this incident happened, I'm at the National Aviary, doing some research with a person, one of the head conservation research things. We did some peregrine falcon research and stuff up there. And so the first time that I met him and we were going over the research stuff, he's like, hey, have you been into the aviary and stuff? I was like, it's been years. Grew up in the area, but been years since I've actually been in here. He's like, well, let me take you for a little tour. Just walk around, talk about, you know, bird nerding it out here. And he's like, oh, rainbow lorikeets. And so I jokingly tell him about this story. I'm like, they all attacked me. I don't know what it was. That one bird just told all of his friends, kind of just laughed about it a little bit. On we went. And he's like, oh, that's funny. Ha ha ha. Let's go in. I want to show you, you know, talk. So we go in there. No freaking joke. I get swarmed by him again. Like, and they all, like, at first they're all, like, nice. I don't know if they, like, sense my pissed offness or something, but start biting it. It's always, like, my ears, my shoulders, like, everything. Start biting out. Okay. I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. So whapping off rainbow lorikeets. All right. Go to Australia in the wild where rainbow lorikeets
across the world.
Across the world. Where these birds, you know, fly in flocks of hundreds. I'm in Cairns, far north, East Queensland, Australia. And I'm, like, telling these guys, and we see them in the distance in these trees. And I'm, like, laughing. I'm like, listen to me. I go, I have been bit by rainbow lorikeets. I don't know what it is. They just don't like me. I was like, it's just, I don't know if it's, like, pheromones, whatever. It's not deodorant. Like, stuff had changed. You know, nothing was the same. Didn't have any earrings, nothing. All right. Out there, out and about, start walking. And they're all, like, laughing. And they're like, and we see this huge tree with, like, all these lorikeets in it. They're like, just go walk by the tree. And I'm like, guys, this is a really bad idea. They're like, no, just walk by the tree. It's fine. They're wild. I'm like, I don't know. I'm telling you, bad idea. I'm like, whatever. Go walk by the tree. I kid you not. I probably got within 20, 30 feet of that tree, and they all flew out of the tree and came right towards me to the point where I had to run back to, like, where all the little shops were and go into, like, one of the little
a rainbow.
Right. But I had to go into one of the what's it called? Not a hostel. To be like, and then I started running to the front of the hostel, and, like, the guys, like, look at me, he's like, are you okay? You know, thinking I might just be mugged or something. I'm like, I'm being chased by a flock of rainbow lorikeets in my very, very English accent. And so he's just like, like looked at me like I'm psycho, and I'm like, no, I'm serious. Next thing you know, like out of a cartoon, you see like a whole flock just go like whoom, down and by the door. Like, just
they're waiting. Like and they're like all like into the wall with their beaks like sticking in.
We were just waiting. So sure enough, like later on we go like also in Australia we're at this like little area. There's like a little touristy area, and they have a bunch of these little zoos and stuff. And we're with a few of our professors, and they're like, "Hey, do you guys want to go through this walk through Rainbow Lorikeet thing?" I'm like, "No."
Absolutely.
And they're all chuckling like, "Oh, come on, Katie, it's not that bad." And like the people that were with me, 3 or 4 others that were with me that night, they're like, "No, seriously." She told us that they hate her, and we just saw it for real. She got swarmed. And sure enough, like still to this day, it's got to be like a pheromone or something that I put off that they just do not
don't like your face.
They just don't like me. And so I feel like one of these days I'm going to be swarmed by pigeons, and it's going to be the same thing.
You're not going to be safe anywhere then.
I'm just not going to be safe.
Go outside.
Yeah.
Just wear a mask every time you go outdoors.
Every time. Yeah. Good grief. But pigeons are dumb. They carry diseases. They're flying rats.
Pigeons are dumb.
Again, it's just one of those animals that just shouldn't irk me, but it just does. I could just do without them.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I feel you. Because that's why I don't like some of my animals. There's really no reason other than just personal.
Don't like them.
Personal.
Yeah, it's personal. My pigeon dislike. It's personal.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, because it is.
Speaking of personal problems, my first one is llamas. As we all know,
you hate llamas.
I just had to choose one of the camelids.
You did. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what's worse, an alpaca or a llama? And I decided it was the llama because they're bigger. So a little bit of quick few things about natural history if you don't know about llamas. They're native to the highlands of the Andes Mountains, but they are not wild. Humans made llamas, essentially. Which I still think is weird.
Wait, what?
We intentionally made llamas. There were wild, guanacos and stuff. And
okay. Because I was like, wait, how do we... Yeah. Okay, because it's like, how do we make... Suddenly we're God.
I'm sure they felt like it. Well, they are a camelid, which are camels, alpacas, llamas, guanacos, and llamas are the largest member of the South American ones.
I just have to keep saying, on the 4th day, the Chileans Peruvians made llamas. It just keeps... if I don't say it, it's going to keep stewing in my brain. Continue.
They've got long necks, skinny legs, and long fur. They live in herds, they're herbivores, and humans domesticated them for pack animals, meat, and wool. Alright, now that that's over, why can I do without them? I have a whole list. Okay, bullet pointed.
Bullet pointed.
Dumb scientific name. Llama glama, alright?
Llama glama, yeah.
Llama glama. Okay, dumb. Secondly, they look stupid. Llamas
and if you guys don't follow Useless Farms on TikTok, I'm not on TikTok a whole lot anymore, but dude, it's in the name, Useless Farms, but she has, they're alpacas, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. But they all look the same.
Yeah, they do.
Derpy ears. They
yes.
look like they've been stretched out like taffy. Like their necks are too long, their legs are too long and skinny.
I don't even know if derpy does it justice, though. They do look dumb.
They have a vacant-looking eyes.
Vacant?
And the worst is that they can have a serious underbite and look insane. That's why brazy teeth, just like
that's why I brought up Useless Farms, because you have to go follow her. At least go look up the account, because the one that she has that she's constantly making fun of, his name's Michael, and it is so funny because she's always like Michael, and his face is always like her, just nothing.
Got these ridiculous underbites, and their teeth are all snaggly. Ugh.
Nothing's going on in Michael's head. You got it. Useless Farms. Just look it up. Nothing's going on in his brain.
It's really cute. Weird. It's very lurching, like all the camels family. They have talons on their feet. They have, Katie, I never have before now, but look up a llama skull. It's horrific. It's not as scary as a camel skull, but it's pretty scary because its like nose is all wrong, and they have I didn't know they have incisors that look like fangs.
Oh yeah.
I knew that they were like deer and only had teeth on the bottom and the front. Incisors.
I don't know. I don't think they look as scary.
Ones.
They don't look as scary as some other ones. Yeah, camels are definitely way worse. I just think they just. I don't know. Their skulls to me just look as dumb as their faces do.
Yeah.
Like.
Also, what's worse than a llama? 2 llamas, and there's always more than one.
There is.
Okay, because they are always in herds. They make ridiculous vocalizations. They're always making like weird moans and things like just like no.
They are weirdly vocal.
They really don't have a distinct ecosystem role. So like it's nothing that I could do without them. It's really
the world. The world. I have a few like that too though, that they serve no purpose. So
well, I guess, humans made them to carry things, but we have donkeys for that. And some other things.
Much more, yeah, and donkeys do serve, donkeys are great alert systems. They are very protective.
Also, apparently are llamas. Llamas apparently are great guard dogs, yada yada.
As good as a donkey.
They don't have any, in the ecosystem, they fulfill the same role as a deer, it says. And they already are deer, so... but
save the deer, kill the llamas.
But the absolute reason, for sure, that I absolutely could get rid of llamas this very instant is the spitting. It's completely unnecessary, absolutely disgusting, because it's not really spit, it's vomit.
Yeah.
So, like we talked
vomiting.
about earlier,
yeah.
Just hurl in your face if they get upset. And they're so mean about it. They put their ears back and they put their noses up in the air like they're better than you. And then right in your face.
And with good aim, too. With good aim.
Such good aim.
You know what's grosser than that, though, is with camels, because they have that, what is that sack?
Their tongue,
that they regurgitate, and it's like, that is way grosser than spitting for me. Because then they make this sound with it, too. It's like, it's way,
the whole family
so gross.
Disgusting. I just chose llamas as the worst. So you won't see me, although I think I feel like my mom got me some, fa la 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 llama pajamas.
That's awesome. I don't know.
Kind of funny.
See, if I were...
To be fair, I have raised one baby llama. She was adorable. It's when they become adults that they're
idiots. Yeah. I mean, I feel like if I ever had a llama, it would be the same thing as useless farms. Like that, I would never do that because I like the freedom of not having, the responsibility of being, stuck in one spot where I can't go on vacation or anything like that. But if I would have a farm, I would have goats and llamas and I would have literally a duplicate of useless farm, just a bunch of useless animals that, and the llamas would have to be one of them because they are just so uniquely dumb that I would have to have them.
Their wool isn't as good as an alpaca's wool. It's just...
Yeah. I would have to have a llama.
So no llamas for me.
Yeah. They're dumb. Alrighty. Well, the second one that I could do without, wasps. So,
I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Yes. Now, wasp is just a broad name for a group of hundreds of thousands of species.
Yeah.
Consisting from anywhere from the narrow-waisted, the apricatia.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Actually, we have a whole bunch of those at work.
Oh, do you really?
In that, they're
in that family or whatever it is.
Thin.
Yeah, real thin-bodied. Ranging up to the typical wasp that you think of. So there's again, hundreds of thousands of species. For some perspective on the number of wasps, or should I say unnumbered of wasps, because we don't really know, almost every one of the some 1,000 species of tropical fig trees has its very own specific fig wasp that has co-evolved with it and pollinates it. Which, to be fair, other things pollinate it, so it's not let's not start a whole save the wasp pollination thing. Okay, because other things can still pollinate.
Because I do like figs.
Yeah, I could do without.
I could do without them.
Yeah,
but
nobody really needs to. No one ever really needs to eat a fig. Okay, so why don't I like wasps? Except for the obvious sting. Most of the time, you're freaking not even doing anything. I think the worst, no, I know the worst wasp sting that I ever had was at the zoo when I was walking an intern back, which was somebody that we both know. We'll cut her name out, but it was Alexa. So I was walking Alexa back to her interview for the internship, and there was just a wasp chilling. I went to move the gate to go back to her office, like a big wooden rolling gate, and there was just a wasp in the end of that pipe making a nest, just hanging out. And as soon as I opened that gate, that rumble and that vibration pissed it off enough, came flying out of there and stung me right on the forehead. Like, right on the forehead. Absolutely uncalled for. I didn't know he was in there. I would have left him alone if I knew he was. Anyway.
I think the heat will do things to you, man. Like, the southern animals, they're probably meaner.
I feel like they are.
So hot.
Yeah, right. The heat. This person rumbled my home. I'm gonna kill her.
I can't take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill her. Anyway, but yeah, so their sting is horrible. But besides stinging, many wasps are parasites. Like
that's I can't handle.
Yep.
Can't handle it.
Females deposit eggs on or in a host arthropod on which the larvae then feed. Some larvae start off as like little parasites, but convert at a later stage to consuming the plant or whatever arthropod plant tissues that their host is feeding on. In other species, the eggs are laid directly into plant tissues and form galls, which protect the developing larvae from predators, but not necessarily from other parasitic wasps, which is so pointless then. In some species, the larvae are predatory themselves, so basically their babies are just out there eating everything, including each other. So
I've seen a parasitized caterpillar and I thought I was going to
Oh, really?
I can't even look at stuff like that. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
It's so
like,
gross.
I can't see if something's not supposed to have, like, tumors, growths, whatever on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it.
Can't do it. That is
There's
your
something
limit.
like visceral, like I cannot
do it.
Like enlarged ticks all over an animal or
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Gross.
I saw a caterpillar once and I was like, huh?
I'm just gonna start sending you random pictures of this stuff now.
Oh my gosh, that's so mean.
I hate you. So when I looked up, and I don't know why people say looked up anymore. Like, I'm not pulling out my 1995 Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, I'm Googling. When I Googled, do we even need wasps? Basically, a bunch of websites were like, pollinators, but not really. Like, there's so many other things that are better pollinators than these guys are. They're not even good. And when they say they specialize in pollinating figs, if they're pollinating anything at all, other websites said that if we didn't have wasps, the world would be overrun by insect pests. Aren't wasps insect pests, though? Like,
I guess it depends on who you're talking to. But yeah, I mean, I know that, like, they are definitely probably population control. But
yeah, I don't know. So, okay. Because one, who out there doesn't think that a wasp is a pest? Nobody. Another website also said that yellow jackets feed their young dead insects, so if we didn't have them, dead insects would just pile up everywhere, which I totally call BS on that one. Because while yellow jacket babies may eat a lot of dead insects, it's not so many.
All of them.
Right? It's not so many that they're on like their own Captain Planet squad saving Earth from the perils of dead insect bodies. So that's just a bunch of bullcrap there.
I might not be able to deal, so maybe I don't agree with you of all wasps, but I could do without yellow jackets.
I could do without wasps
like the
altogether.
Wasps, mud daubers, thread-waisted, whatever.
But we don't need them. We don't need them. Like, most of those, though, aren't even, like, good. The ones that you just named aren't even pollinators. They don't really serve. They don't serve a purpose, but to be annoying. Like... and to sting people.
We have these, I've been stung by a wasp, but I don't remember what kind it was.
Sucks.
But it hurt really bad. Actually, I was stung twice by wasps.
At least a bee, I feel bad, because I'm like, you know what, it hurt, but you're saving a planet, and, you know.
I don't feel bad. The yellow jackets can all burn and die. Like, yellow jackets have it out for you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's personal for them. Okay?
It is.
You can totally just be doing your own thing. I didn't even get near their nest and have been stung in the face. For no reason.
For no reason. Dude, you remember in Ohio, there's the wasps freaking that have the ground nests. And I've just been...
Yellow jackets are in the ground.
Yeah. The yellow jackets? Yeah, and you're just walking. And I've gotten them freaking... My sophomore... Dang it, there it goes again. What is happening with
I wonder if it's mine.
No, I think it's mine, because every time I unplug the headphones. Anyway, so my sophomore year, we were clearing out this bunch of, like, invasive plants, all right? So we were going through this plot. I don't even remember what an invasive plant it was. But anyway, going through, cutting it all out and everything like that. And I had on wool hiking socks, all right, and just boots and shorts, because I'm a nerd like that. And sure enough, boom, right on a yellow jacket, nest in the ground. Wool socks, dude. They got stuck in my socks. And so the amount of stinging, it was just one after another. My ankle and my lower leg
doesn't come off.
No, it doesn't. And so they just keep freaking stinging. So it's like right below, like from my lower calf down to like my ankle bone. Just, it was so swollen and so gross. I had to ice that thing. It was so bad.
Every summer we have kids at the nature center get stung by yellow jackets because we go off trail to do some fun stuff.
Yes.
But if you have not scouted that area ahead of time, or they go where you tell them not to go, bam, nailed.
Little
and
jerks.
Multiple times.
Not the kids, like, little jerks. Yellow jackets.
Yeah. But yeah, yellow jackets can all burn. The other ones, I don't care. We have some paper wasps that keep trying to make a nest in the xylophone. Like this kid, it's the craziest place to build a nest because kids play it. Like, it's so loud. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I have to go out there. And at first, I did the whole, like, spray them and run thing. And then I realized they weren't going to do anything. So now I just take a stick and I whack it down. And then they just stay there. And they're all, like, looking around confused. Like, what just happened? Like, I now realize that they're just not very intelligent. Or they've all been brain damaged from the sound.
Yeah, right. Just all that. One of my fondest memories of my dad was whenever we were growing up, and there was a wasp nest, a paper wasp nest that was like the big hanging ones that they were making and stuff, and it was on a tree right beside our driveway, and so my dad would like eventually like drove by it one day with his window up, and he was just like, they were just banging on the side of his car door and so, because I mean they build those nests quick. And so they build it pretty fast. And so my dad, he's a man. Like, sometimes they get these ideas and it's just a guy thing. So he had, because he was an electrician, he had like on he had for work like a fire resistant clothing and stuff. So he goes and gets that. He gets a can of lighter fluid.
Oh my god.
And meanwhile, my sister and I are just upstairs looking out our front window over like our second floor bedroom, and we're just like watching him because we're like,
this is make a flamethrower.
Yes, essentially. Just douse that whole nest. And while they were sleeping, because it was night, so it was pitch black out. And we live in the middle of nowhere, so it is a black outside. Lighter fluid, match, the whole nest, everything. I do not recommend animal violence, but it was really funny because as soon as that thing caught, he took off running because the wasp came out ready to kill.
And those probably, so I learned not too long ago that the paper wasps build the, like, umbrella paper nest. Those ones are either bald-faced hornets or European wasps. The ones that build the big ball nests of paper. The paper wasps have, like, an open face.
They're open, yeah. Well, it was one of the ball ones. I don't remember what it was.
European hornet or bald face. Those are nasty.
Yeah. Dude, and that
real aggressive.
Yeah,
and
they were.
Are huge. Like, we find them under the logs sometimes at work, and the kids are like, whoa, they're at least as big as your thumb. Like, my thumb anyway. That's huge. You're like, is this a murder hornet? No,
for those of you who have never seen Laura, she actually has really ginormous thumbs, so.
Hey, another unit of measurement.
Yeah, Laura's thumb. As big as Laura's thumb. As big as Laura's big thumbs. But that is like such a dad thing to be like, there's a thousand other ways that he could have solved that. Yeah, just anything else. No, he had to light it on fire. And I'm pretty sure he lit it on fire. And then, like I've shared about the wood burrowing bees, how he'd hit them with wiffle ball bats. Yeah. There was definitely a bat involved. Like, he, burn it as it's, still smoldering, hits it down with something, and then just, keeps, to tamp it out. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, gosh.
Overkill, Dad, overkill.
Yeah, right. It was fun for him. I mean, I don't know if he got stung one day and just pissed him off or what. But wasp, I could totally do without wasp. I cannot tell you when the last time was I ate a fig. So they're not that near and dear to my heart. I could care less about figs. So don't need them.
Okay. Well, I will go with. How about I'll do my insect now? Okay. Mine is the botfly. Because absolutely that's a good one. No reason this should exist. In fact, it's a nightmare. So it was a struggle for me to not have just a list of just nothing but parasites. Because right? I could do without all of them. But in particular, there's two that always come to my mind. I chose this one. The botfly, because this is one of my nightmares. So natural history. Botflies are all in the family Ostridae. And there are 26 species of them in the U.S. and Canada, which Jeez. I did not know.
No, I didn't know that either.
What is really messed up is that although they're flies, they're all bee mimics. Okay, they all look like bumblebees.
Bee mimics. Okay.
Yeah, they're bee-like in that they're hairy, but they don't really have bristles. Their larvae are parasitic. They're either black or dark blue, segmented, and of course they're maggots because they're baby flies. They are specialized to parasitize different species or groups of animals, such as horse, deer, rabbit, sheep, rodent, cows, and humans.
Jeez.
And then, just to throw a term out there that I could do without, I think you would say this, myiasis, which is the infestation of maggots. Like, when something is infested with maggots, in the human body, I should say, because, asis is, swelling, so myiasis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I even gag, when they use maggots. I know it serves a purpose when they use it medically to, nope, can't. To eat away the dead skin, nope, gonna vomit. Going to vomit.
I'll die first. Okay.
Yeah, I would die first because I could not sit there, even though it's they're like, yeah, but they're like, oh, it's saving your life. No, you put me under because I could not, just the thought of knowing it could be completely covered up, but the thought of knowing what is happening.
Something's eating you. That's
absolutely not.
Something super, that is the height of something eating me. I can't know that. So why could I do without? Gosh dang it. Only in certain circumstances. Okay. This adults are deceptively cute, okay? Nothing should look like a fuzzy little bumblebee and then do what it does.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just cruel. So it psychs you out. And then, so like I said, this animal is my nightmare. I could actually hardly research it, Katie. I had to keep looking away from the screen.
It is disgusting. I'm honestly surprised that you did choose this one just because it is so
I keep looking
disgusting.
At it and learn more about it. So, let me quick share some horror stories with you and then we'll move on. So
I don't know if I want to know.
The lump. The lump that forms where the larva is living under the skin is called a warble. Which makes me want to faint.
Oh, warble. Warble. Ew.
A warble. Like a warbling bird sounds pretty, but warble makes me think of the skin warbling.
Yeah. Ew.
Like a wobbly bubble.
Ew.
A warble.
Ew.
Yeah. So, guys, you might be wondering, so like I said, their babies are parasitic. So what happens is either the botfly lays its eggs directly on something. That's not usually what happens. Usually what happens is that the botfly lays their eggs on something, then the animal passes by, the eggs end up on that animal, they feel the heat, they hatch, they dig in, and they are in there until they're ready to be grown-ups. So
just when they finally feel like they're ready to be grown, you know what? I feel like having responsibility, and they just break out.
They pupate usually in the soil, and then they emerge with wings. Okay, so Warble. Ugh. Horse ones.
Just your face every time.
Yeah. Horse spot flies are ones that specifically live in a horse's stomach and intestines until they're pooped out.
That's very specific.
That fly just lays them on like the horse's legs or somewhere, so the horse licks them and then just eats the eggs, and then they live inside of it.
Which is gross enough.
Yeah. It can cause what is called the blind staggers in some animals, like sheep, because they grow in the sheep's nostrils and are actually impairing brain function, and they can make them seem like they're going blind and stagger around like they're drunk.
That's so gross. So gross.
Even worse, the squirrel botfly. There's one it specifically attacks the squirrel's scrotum and can castrate them.
What?
It's that one seems so personal. Like of anywhere that they could be like living, they're like
ears, tails,
right there on that scrotum. Seems like a good place. And then the poor squirrel's just castrated.
They're gone. Yeah.
The human one, which thank God we do not have here in America. It's native to Central and South America. I'm so sorry for listeners who are from Central and South America.
Which we do have listeners from Central and South America. Sorry, guys.
I can only imagine. The human one lays her eggs, I didn't know this, on a mosquito or other insect who then bites us or deer or livestock, because it's all the same one. Our body warmth causes them to hatch and they burrow into the skin. And then, maybe the worst part is at the center of the warble, there is a small hole through which the larva extends its breathing tube.
Ew! A snorkel. A skin snorkel.
Like a robin. Oh, a skin snorkel, Katie. Oh my gosh, it's so foul. Yeah, like a little reed under the water, only it's through your skin, and it
That's
looks
so
like,
disgusting.
Basically its butt. Like, if you look up pictures, it's its rear end sticking out of the hole.
That's so gross. But meanwhile, we're like all disgusted by it. Meanwhile, it's in there just like it's like, I'm going to live. Like just trying to breathe, trying to survive.
Away on you.
That's disgusting.
I'm telling you right here and now, like you said about the maggots, if I at all thought there was a botfly in my
off with my arm,
like it would
pluck it.
Money when they were trying to get that scarab out of that guy's
scarab.
arm.
Yep. Totally would go for it.
I would cut it out. There's no way. I would
no hesitation
knowing that thing was in my arm.
Nope.
I don't care, like irrational or not, infection risk or not. It's out. It's gone.
It's gone. I have pretty sharp knives. I can handle it.
Yeah.
Like no, thank you.
And that's the botfly and how they should never exist.
Never ever exist. So this one I'm gonna keep going with inverts here. So in this one, I have talked about it, and I have talked about it in a very personal way. Ticks.
Yes, this is one that I also considered.
So
because who does think ticks should exist? There's no one that thinks that. I challenge anyone, please, listeners, if somebody is a tick fan out there, please let me know. I would be so interested to know why you're a tick fan.
There's no reason. No reason. Okay, so first off, if you are listening to our anti-bucket list episode, again, we're in season 5. We're just going to tell you approximately what episode it is. You're going to have to find it on your own. We have too many episodes now at this point. But the anti-bucket list episode, you'll know that on more than one occasion, I've had ticks in my danger zone. And just no.
I had them in my back, like I had a cousin with one in her ear.
Ugh. Just, they get everywhere. All right, so that's completely uncalled for. Ticks in danger zones. Uncalled for. Same as a wasp, just don't be such a jerk. All right, because honestly, like, there were plenty of other places on my body that a tick could nestle up besides my danger zone. I have
in my
several other warm crevices. So many other ones. Yeah, so many other places. Why? Just why? Pick another spot. All right, natural history. There are 850 different tick species in the world, 80 of which are found here in the U.S. alone. as a vector species, and a vector species is being one animal that transmit a disease from one animal to another.
The middleman, if you will.
The middleman. Ticks transmit numerous diseases. Yeah. Two of the most well-known around in the U.S. and troublesome here are Lyme's disease and Rocky Mountain tick fever. Ticks are external parasites living by feeding on blood of mammals, birds, and sometimes reptiles and amphibians even. The timing of origin of ticks is uncertain, which I thought was interesting, though the oldest known tick fossils are from the Cretaceous period, about 100 million years old. So ticks find their host. Now, this one, this is right.
Feeding on a dinosaur? Gross.
Right? Ugh. But this one I did. I don't want to say that it's cool because I just wish another animal would do this. Let's just say that. So, ticks find their host by detecting an animal's breath and body odors, sensing heat, moisture, or vibrations. A common misconception about ticks is that they jump onto their host or that they fall from trees. However, they're incapable of flying or jumping. Many ticks, they don't fly. Many tick species.
Thank goodness.
Right? Particularly, Exodidae, I don't know. but these ones, they lie in wait in a position known as questing. While questing, ticks cling to leaves and grasses by their third and fourth pair of legs, so like the back legs. They hold out their first pair of outstretched legs, just waiting to grasp onto something and climb onto any passing hope. All right, that's how I was like, okay. Now, if a jumping spider did that, anything else, jumping spider. Anything. Hey guys, because you picture it's just like, pick me up, hey, come here. Like, no, so gross. So ticks' questing heights tend to be correlated with the size of the desired host. Nymphs and small species tend to quest close to the ground, where they may encounter small mammals or bird hosts. Adults climb higher into vegetations, where larger hosts may be encountered. So some species are hunters. Some other species of ticks, though, are hunters and lurk near places where hosts may rest, which, again, just jerks.
That's uncalled for, yeah.
Right? And then, upon receiving an olfactory stimulus of some sort or other environmental indication, whichever one that species relies on, they either crawl or run across the surface, like between them and the host, to hurry up and get onto the host. So, as cute as that is, like I have said so many times, two of my biggest reasons: one, we just don't need them. They serve absolutely no purpose.
Yeah, especially because that whole thing with the opossums eating ticks just got busted, that they don't do that.
Yeah, they don't.
So, like, for sure now they're not even food for an opossum.
Yeah, like, they just... And let's just say all of a sudden all the ticks were wiped out, an opossum's gonna find something else to eat. Yeah. Like, so it's not like they're the only. But we don't need them. Why they have to go into my danger zone completely uninvited, mind you.
It's the disease thing for me. Like, thanks.
Yeah, like Lyme's disease, Rocky Mountain tick fever. I almost lost. I think I shared that story once on here. One of my supervisors, she almost died, and nobody knew.
From anaplasmosis is really bad. That's like toxoplasmosis. It's like malaria, but tick version.
She had Rocky Mountain. She had Rocky Mountain. It like messed with her brain. They had to like put her in a medically like induced, not a coma per se, but like really knock her out because she was having all kinds of complications, and they didn't really know what was going on, and that was the only thing it's kind of like Lyme's disease, where it's like you can have all these symptoms and they're just taking a guess.
Because you don't know.
You just don't know.
I thought I had and like the neurologist was like, I mean, maybe multiple sclerosis, and I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Nope, just Lyme's disease.
Just Lyme's, yeah. So, yeah, disease-carrying, just disgusting little things. Gross. So many other places you could be.
Speaking of gross little things,
I'm so excited for what's next.
Chinese crested dogs.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I almost did a naked cat. The Sphinx.
So here,
I know you like them, but I
like them. They're endearing.
I don't.
This dog is just gross to me. So Chinese crested dogs, I'm really sorry out there to anybody who's got a Chinese crested dog. They might really be nice dogs. I've actually known that one person.
I don't know. I don't think you have to apologize because I think people who have them kind of know. Yeah.
So, natural history, most of this came from the American Kennel Club. They're actually unsure where this breed originated, possibly Africa, and it's thought to have spread by Chinese merchant ships, hence the name. It was recognized as a toy breed of dog in 1991, stands 11 to 13 inches tall and weighs only 8 to 12 pounds, so less than my cat. They can either be hairless or have coats, either one, or like a kind of a mix of the two. They usually have spotted or splotched pink and black skin, a spiky crested hairdo, furry socks, and a feathery tail. All right, you'll just have to look it up.
They're ugly, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Why could I do without them? They're literally known for being the world's ugliest dog. There is a competition every June, and almost every June, a Chinese
coming up.
It. Yep, 24th. We just looked it up. The 24th of June, world's ugliest dog. Check it out. It will haunt your dreams. People wear t-shirts with one of them on, like,
ugh.
So they're known for being ugly with their spotty skin.
I'm sorry, but
partially hairless. Like
the one that won.
Hairless, oh, go ahead.
But the one that won, like, several years in a row, it was not only a Chinese crested dog, but it was an old Chinese crested dog,
like
and
like
so it had. Yeah, and I'm sorry, but that's like. There's to a point where it's like, you gotta put that thing down.
No, but it looked like the undead. Like, it looked like it had already died and crawled out of the grave. It looked like a zombie dog.
Yes, it did. And there's like a point where you're like, you know what, quality of life here is...
Well, I think what makes this worse than the naked cat is that it is partially hairless. So this looks skeezy. It's like it's lost most gross. Of it, but not completely. So it looks more like the undead. It actually does have a coated variety, like I said, called a powder puff one. And I'm like, ugh, powder puff.
Yeah, right.
Gross. The hairless gene is dominant but lethal. Okay, so 2 dominant genes equal a stillborn puppy. So for you people out there who remember your Punnett squares, that's 1/4 of puppies stillborn.
Jeez.
That's a lot. And seems really awful to even make anything go through that. Like, you're gonna breed... Yeah. Okay, now, health issues. As we know, most purebred dogs have some serious health issues, and here's the Chinese cresteds. Inherited eye problems, epilepsy, their kneecaps can slip out of place, they get leg calf Parthis disease, and the fact that they're hairless...
What is that?
No idea. Just was like, oh, a disease. Got it. And the fact that they're hairless can lead them to have skin allergies, sunburn, acne, and you have to put lotion all over them.
Ew, I would not want to lotion my hairless dog.
I know you have to do that for the cats too, but
it's so disgusting.
Just like, give me here. You gotta put suntan lotion all over them and help for an acne lotion. And they're known like their personality on the AKC, they've got like some like a slide like of how much maintenance, how friendly, they've got scales. This one is known for having a sensitive personality. Ugh. The only thing I don't want about a dog is one that's super sensitive and gets its feelings hurt.
Right?
Which is why I like cats so much, because they just don't care, usually.
Yeah.
They'll hurt our feelings. Their feelings don't get hurt. I don't want a sensitive dog. So yeah, Chinese crested, I could do without them, and I feel like the world would probably be a better place. We do a lot to poor dogs, like breed-wise.
And that one is one that...
their detriment.
That one is one that should have stopped a long time ago. Like, there's no... I'm sorry. There's no way that if we didn't have those right now, that somebody would be like, you know what we need? A naked dog. You know what I mean? Like, a partially hairless dog. No one is going to be thinking that. No one.
They might be really nice dogs. I don't know. I haven't met one.
I doubt it.
But
I doubt it.
Get over it.
All right. My fourth one, the Suriname toad.
This is the one I could not believe we both wanted. Katie.
Really? How?
Have we
Dude,
talked about this together?
disgusting at the zoo. Because one of our coworkers hated these, and I agree with
this
her.
one. No, for sure. I literally cannot watch this when it comes up on the Nature Channel. My back actually starts itching.
Disgusting.
I cannot watch it.
Disgusting. All right.
Katie, Kim was like, "You guys are so weird."
No, this is look it up. This is disgusting. What the actual hay bale? It's gross. All right, so this toad found in Bolivia, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, French Guiana, Guyana, Peru, Suriname, which is where it gets its name from, Trinidad and Tobago, and Venezuela. Its natural habitats are subtropical, tropical, moist, lowland forests, subtropical and tropical swamps, just regular swamps apparently, freshwater marshes, and intermittent freshwater marshes. So basically, I mean, it's wet. It's got to be wet.
It's a frog.
Yeah. This toad, it looks like, it says called toad again, but it is a frog. Well, it's called a toad, but it's definitely a frog.
Oh, perfect. Should be our poorly named animals episode.
Yeah, right? Well, I'm assuming it has to be a frog because it, lives in the water. It's definitely a frog. I don't know why I'm questioning this. It definitely has to be a frog. It's called a toad, though. So this toad looks like a leaf having extra, it does have fantastic camouflage for where they can be found at the bottom of the water. So it looks like a leaf, which, fallen leaf on the bottom of the water. Cool. All right, great camouflage. That's the only good thing about them. All right, the species is, they're omnivores. Diet consists mostly of invertebrates, such as worms, insects, crustaceans, and even some small fish, like teeny tiny fish. The toad has sensory organs in their fingertips, which help them catch prey, which I thought was kind of actually cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Suriname toads are best known, though, for their reproductive habits. And this is the one out of all the sex episodes that we have. This is by far the one that I would never talk about in good light because it is so disgusting. Vomit worthy. All right. So
I actually just got shivers because I can feel it. I don't know why I can feel it, but I can feel it.
So gross. Laura can feel their reproductive habits.
Feel it.
It's gross. All right, so unlike the majority of toads, the male of the species do not attract mates with croaks or other sounds often associated with aquatic animals. Instead, they produce a sharp clicking sound by snapping the hyoid bone in their throats, which I thought was kind of cool. They're actually, snap a bone.
Snapping my bones, no worries.
Just don't mind me over here. Just trying to get a woman, just snapping my bones. Why do people listen to us? All right, the clicking sound resembles kind of like a metal sound almost. The average rate of these clicks is 4 clicks per second, consisting of blocks of. They click that bone hard. So 4 clicks per second, consisting blocks of 10 to 20 seconds per period. So that's pretty long.
A lot of breaking. A lot of snapping.
Yeah. Right. All right, so thereafter, the male will grab the front legs of a female, causing the cloaca and the skin of the female to swell. Apparently, that's what gets her going.
That's not even funny.
There's just so many more jokes I could insert, but I'm not. I'm gonna stop. All right. The partners rise from the floor. They flip through the water in arcs. The couple will swim around in the water until they have to swim to resurface to catch their breath. Afterwards, they will swim back down to the bottom of the water. There, the male will lay on his back with the female on top of him on her stomach. During the arc, the female releases 3 to 10 eggs, which get embedded into the skin on her back by the male's movements. This can happen up to 10 times.
Why would you ever let that happen to you?
Right.
Also, that is some nuts. Can you imagine the vigor?
To implant something
on your back. Those toads need to calm down.
Yeah, Stop
down.
flipping through the water. Dang.
Jeez. Yeah. This was just a nasty side effect that turns out it worked, but like,
Ugh,
not worth it.
So gross. So after implantation, the eggs sink into the skin and form pockets over a period of several days, eventually taking on the appearance of an irregular honeycomb, which makes me literally want to vomit right now. Yeah. As we're both like holding back or throwing up. I'm going to keep reading. The embryos develop to the tadpole stage inside these pockets. The young toads grow a tail during that growth, so that's how far that they get. However, these will only be temporary because they will need the tail for inhaling oxygen. What?
Interesting.
That's what it said. Oxygen. Anyway. Yeah. After 12 to 20 weeks, the young toads.
Long.
Right? That's a long time to have.
That's so long.
Embedded in your back. The young toads will hatch as small toads, and they look identical to their parents. It takes a while for them to grow bigger since they're only 25 millimeters long when they're born, so they are really tiny. Once they have emerged from their mother's back, the toads begin pretty much a solitary life. So once they hatch, they're peace out, they're gone. After giving birth to new toads, the mother slowly sheds the thin layer of skin that was used to birth them, and they begin the cycle again. Freaky AF. That's all I have to say about that.
You were born a boy, Suriname toad.
But I also looked up why they evolved. Why would they evolve this way? And there was really nothing. So the only thing that I could think of is that you think of other frogs and toads and everything like that. Their eggs, a lot of other animals will eat their eggs.
Oh yeah, and that's why they go numbers.
Yes,
These
and that's why they
go little but lots of care.
Yeah, little but lots of care. And so that's the only thing. It's as disgusting as it is. I think that's the only thing.
Survival, but
it ensures the survival of frogs that are. Vomit. So vomit.
I hate watching them hatch from a.
Oh, it's so disgusting. If you have a pretty, if you guys have if you can do it, go watch it. Suriname toad. Just good luck. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever. Ugh, so gross. Continue, Laura. Let's get that out of our brain.
Okay, let's do penguins. I could do without penguins.
I'm not surprised. I'm surprised it made your top list, but I'm not surprised you also have said this.
Yeah. I love busting people's belief in penguins being adorable and amazing.
They're not.
I mean, yeah, sure, they could be cute, but again, at what cost? So, natural history of penguins. There are 17 to 19 species, depending on who you ask, which is so dumb. All are found in the southern hemisphere, but the Galapagos penguins, they can be found in cold or warm coastal habits. They're not necessarily the Arctic. They can't fly, instead they waddle and swim. There are some variation of black and white torpedo-shaped birds, anywhere from 15 inches to 3.5 feet, and anywhere from 2 to 80 pounds. I did not know they could get to be 80 pounds. That's terrifying. And they eat fish and other sea creatures. So, why could I do without them? Again, bulleted list.
Bulleted list. Here we go.
Smelly. Definitely smelly. Smell like fish because that's what they eat. Super duper messy. One penguin can poop 6 to 8 times per hour. Okay? So imagine a colony of penguins. Yuck.
All over the place, all the time.
It smells like fish. And they go through what's called a catastrophic molt, meaning they become feather ball explosions. They lose all their feathers at once, and that's incredibly messy. Thankfully, they only do it once a year. They have sharp, serrated, spear-shaped beaks that are perfect for destroying human flesh. Okay?
It really is. Speaking from experience.
Yeah. Tear you open.
Yeah,
Stab,
it hurts.
Bite, twist, pull.
Bruise.
Awful. Yeah,
it bruises so bad, yeah.
Or just straight up, yeah, serrations. They're unpredictable and erratic, as almost all birds are. And you know what? Dr. George Murray Levick in 1912 went to go study the Adelie penguins and summed them up the best way by calling them gangs of hooligan cocks. Okay? That is how I also would describe penguins. Because here's the thing. not all penguins. Lots of species do not mate for life. Many that do say they mate for life cheat. They've been found cheating.
Penguins.
Yeah. Adelie penguins practice prostitution for pebbles. Okay. Like, they
do anything for that
so
rock.
bad, they will just go over and they will do it, like, yeah. Sometimes they won't even actually, they'll just flirt and they'll, like, trip and fall onto the guy's nest and just take a rock while they're down there and walk away.
Oh, whoopsie.
And then also Adelie penguins have they have huge orgies and even participate in necrophilia. Okay? Desperate. And we're not talking about fresh penguins here. We're talking about last year's frozen corpses.
Oh.
Yeah.
A whole other level.
A whole other level. Those cute little penguins, necrophilia. Okay. Think about that next time. There are even, and so that's, I mean, I don't need any more reason than that they're erratic and they bite all the time. Those are just some other reasons. But there is a BuzzFeed article called 13 Reasons Why Penguins Suck. So I'm not the only one. And
it's probably another keeper.
Probably.
Has to be.
You can get a t-shirt on Amazon that's just called Penguins Suck. That's all it says on it. Penguins suck.
They're not good.
So
they're not nice.
Not nice birds. Not nice at all. Demon birds, really.
Yeah. Well, that kind of is a good segue into my last one. Because it's last but certainly not least. The last animal I could do without, a panda. So I know
which we've already talked about before.
We have already talked about this one before, so I just had to bring it up again though.
Yeah.
Why could I do without it? So pandas are found in southwest China as temperate broadleaf and mixed forests. There is an estimated 1,800 left in the wild. They stand about 4 feet tall and weigh between 200 to 300 pounds. They are a mammal and part of the bear family, of course, and are most iconic for their black and white appearance. Mating and gestation-wise, I'm not going to get too much into all of this because, again, what was the episode? How are you still alive?
Right.
How are you still alive? I went in depth about why pandas should not be alive.
Right.
Black and white appearance, first of all, just so stupid. Like
dumb camouflage. Yeah.
Dumb camouflage. Gestations, they only give birth to one young a year. Twins can happen, but only one survives. That young stays with her for up to 3 years, so it's just not, like, practical. Their diet, pandas feed almost exclusively on bamboo. And, one would think that if they have such a specialized diet, that their gut would be specialized, too. Nope. No. It's not. So, they're just dumb. And, but besides those things, let's see here. I don't want to talk too much about it because we already talked a lot about the digestive and everything. So just go back and listen to How You're Alive. But what is the major reason I could do without them? And
why is this personal?
Why is this one personal? It's because the amount of money that is dumped into their conservation when they should really be extinct. Like, humans are the only reason why that they're... Well, one, humans are kind of a big reason why they were going extinct anyway. But we also dump, because they are one of those charismatic, iconic species, we dump so much money, a ridiculous amount of money into their conservation. It's just too much when there are other animals that really play such an important role in the ecosystem. Like pandas, they don't, like, they eat a lot of bamboo. There's other animals that eat bamboo. I mean, humans are doing a really good job of keeping bamboo at bay anyway with deforestation. Horrible, but they don't really serve a huge purpose, but it's the amount of money that goes into them whenever there are insanely important species that we could/should be saving. But all those funds are just going towards the big iconic ones and the charismatic species. So that's just, I mean, as much as I like pandas, they are cute. They're really dumb, which is hilarious. That dumb is hilarious to me if you just watch any videos of pandas. But it's just how much money they get dumped in. So that was one that if they went extinct, I'd be like, nah, it's a shame. But it's just too much money is being dumped into them. It's not spread out like it should be. So that is why I could do without them. It's not so much them personally, it's that we need to do better at shifting conservation. But you see a cute animal and everyone's like, take all my money. We just have to do better.
Yeah. Well, my last one, speaking of cute, chubby animals, I could absolutely do without hamsters.
They are kind of jerks.
Some of you out there might be like, what? What could you possibly have against hamsters?
A lot.
Yeah, let me tell you. So, natural history-wise, there are 24 species of hamsters. Most common pet is the golden hamster, aka teddy bear hamster, aka Syrian hamster. Hamsters were first discovered in Syria, but they also can be found in Greece, Romania, Belgium, and northern China. They live in
Didn't we do something else on hamsters before?
On hamsters? You've been in Texas too long, my friend.
On hamsters.
That was 3 syllables. Like, hamsters. Like that.
Because I paused to think about it too, because I was like, did we? Because then I started doubting myself because your face went blank. So I was like, maybe we didn't. Yeah. I swear we did something else on hamsters. You sure?
I don't think so.
On hamsters?
We did it on gerbils.
Oh, gerbils. Okay.
Yeah, no, one pet, one.
Yeah, same thing.
They are very similar. So they live in warm, dry areas. They are small rodents, 4 to 12.5 inches. 12.5 inches is a respectable size hamster. That's far too large.
Yeah, that's a lot bigger than what I thought it would be.
Dog.
Yeah.
They're known for their short legs, small ears, and stubby tail. They come in a couple colors. They were first brought to the United States in 1936. They're nocturnal, they burrow, some are social, and some are very territorial. And they are omnivores with pouched cheeks. Okay, what can I do without them? Why I do not like hamsters? Since they have poor vision, I didn't know this, but since they have poor vision, they rub their oily, smelly backs on everything they find to find their way around. Because they can't see very well.
Aww.
Rub on everything to mark their scent.
Meanwhile, there's people like cleaning up after them and everything, and they're like, I don't know where I am.
Yeah, just get lost.
Yeah.
They're constantly chewing because they're rodents. Whose teeth never stop growing, so they chew on everything. Hamsters are cannibalistic, as with many rodents. I knew people whose hamsters ate each other.
Yes. Yes.
The mothers will eat their babies. Like, it is every hamster for himself out there.
My uncle had a hamster that they used to feed boogers.
That's disgusting.
When they were kids.
Ew.
My dad's brother, yeah. I forget his name, but he ended up getting out and getting stuck in the back of a dryer and he died. Like a clothes dryer. Yeah.
Because they're nocturnal, they run on that freaking wheel all night long.
Mm-hmm.
And every single one that I have ever known of or known personally bites.
Yeah.
Listen, I even looked this up on the Humane Society website, okay? And the Humane Society's got, like, best intentions about animals. The Humane Society states, a hamster awakened suddenly from a nap during the day may bite. Therefore, hamsters need to be handled only with adult supervision by children under 8 years old. Okay. They come with a freaking warning on them, alright? Don't handle them without an adult present.
Adult nearby, yeah. It's a hamster,
Don't wake them up for a nap, okay? Because they're cranky.
Yeah, they're gonna be pissed off.
Since they sleep 12 to 14 hours a day, that's a lot of cranky hamster time.
That is a lot of cranky hamster time.
And, like, I get it. Nobody likes to be woken up from a nap. But, like, and they didn't ask to be pets. This isn't really their fault, but I could do it.
This isn't their fault.
And so the reason why this is real personal for me is that I have a scar. I still have it. It's on my finger. And I was in 6th grade, and one of the teachers had a hamster in her class. Its name was Chrissy, and it was cute and chubby. And I got Chrissy out one day, and Chrissy clamped into my finger like it was a carrot stick, and I threw that hamster onto the ground, like dropped it.
Don't even blame you.
And was like done with hamsters for life. I have a big like knot of scar tissue right here from that hamster.
So gross.
And, like, Yeah, I've known lots of people who've been bit. They can carry salmonella and what's called lymphocytic chromomeningitis, which sounds bad.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds bad.
Something about your brain swelling.
Yeah, right.
And there are escape artists who clearly don't want to be around us. Everybody's hamster tries to escape, or does at some point.
Yeah, hence my uncles who got stuck behind the dryer at the too many boogers. They ate too many boogers.
People whose hamsters escaped. There's a book written about it called Houdini. It was a really cute kid's book about a hamster that's always escaping. They don't like us. They don't want to be around us. And Hawaii doesn't even allow hamsters to enter the island for good reason.
Yeah, it's not
They don't
surprising,
ever want them getting out. So you're not allowed to have hamsters on Hawaii, so that's a better place.
We're just gonna go live in Hawaii now. Hamster free.
So,
since we have penguins all running all around here too.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
Hamsters.
That was our long-winded beef with animals that we.
Yeah, I feel like that was way longer than it needed to be, and it was just us trash talking animals.
Ones that we personally don't like.
You know what? I hate them.
Pigeons. Alright, guys. Well, in the meantime, go check us out on Patreon. Search for us on there for the love of nature. We want to have, we keep saying this, but we want to have more guests and everything like that on the episode, and any kind of extra support definitely helps us get there. So go ahead and go support us. In the meantime, talk to us on Twitter or anything else. Reach out to us
if you have about an animal that you don't like for no good reason.
Or if you really think that we're...
a reason.
Yeah, or if you think you really want to combat us for one of the ones that we... Like ticks, if you really have a passion for ticks and you're like, you know what? You're wrong. Call us out. So we would
tell us.
Please tell us if you like ticks, because none of us do. All right, everybody. Until next time.
Talk to y'all next week.
Bye.